Now, this man I'm showing you on this, does he look like a great guy to you? Does he look like a normal person? He deadass looks like Charles Manson. All right, this guy right here is Caitlin Clark's stalker. Caitlin Clark, the bucket. She's a bucket. She's like the female version of Steph Curry. Now, all right, I want you to look up the WNBA, right? Look at all those women. I am not, if I was a stalker, I'm not stalking Caitlin Clark, all right? Out of everyone in the WNBA, she might be the last. Guilty.
No. Sir.
Lewis entered the courtroom admitting guilt before the judge stopped him, telling him that this initial hearing was only for him to learn about the charges he's facing. Lewis is charged with felony stalking after allegedly sending over a dozen sexually explicit messages and threats to Caitlin Clark on social media.
That actually caused Caitlin Clark to feel terrorized, frightened, intimidated, or threatened.
In court, we learned Lewis first allegedly made those online comments in December before traveling here to Indy over the weekend and booking a room in downtown Indy.
This story is wild. It gets really, I'm just glad the cops actually did something about it, because usually with women, when it's a stalking thing, they usually just like, oh, well, we can't really do anything until it gets worse. And then eventually something does get worse. Something really bad happens. This guy's been stalking Caitlin Clark on Twitter for a while. He's been tweeting at her for a while. He eventually moved to Indiana just to be closer to her. It's wild. This is the stuff that he was tweeting to her. Bro got so horny that he just forgot grammar. He turned into a caveman. You want to make out with me? You're a nun. You're a nun, I forgot. Do you even like to make out? Your P word needs a real good pounding. You're not into sex, are you? Just video games and sports. I'm pretty sure Caitlin Clark's married. Then came to the decision of all decisions. I finally had to choose one. Florida or Indiana. OMG, not easy at all. I had a ton invested. Had absolutely no plans of ever coming back here, but I sent you a post saying I want to be with you everywhere. And then my father says, what are you doing here then? This guy has a father? Bro, LeBron deals with these kind of tweets every day. That's why he's the GOAT. Bro, you can look up LeBron tweets. People tweeting at LeBron. It'd be grown men literally saying the same shit that he's not worse. It'd be worse. It'd be more sexual. This isn't a joke, bro. Why do I keep making jokes about this?
WNBA star Caitlin Clark breathing a bit easier. 55-year-old Michael Lewis from...
Just look at this guy. Anybody that ever looks like this, they're never going to be like a productive member of society. They're either going to be a murderer or a stalker. It's either or. I wish we could just lock people up that look like this automatically.
Texas is behind bars, charged with stalking after prosecutors say he sent Clark a series of sexually violent messages.
You not only have someone who's maybe in a place of prominence, but also just kind of the nature and the aggressiveness of what was being tweeted.
According to court documents charging Lewis, there were at least 14 messages between December 16th and January 2nd, many too explicit to quote. In one, authorities say Lewis wrote in part, "Been driving around your house 3 times a day, but don't call the law just yet."
I'm kind of confused on how he I guess if you really wanted to, you could figure out where anybody lives, especially a celebrity like Caitlin Clark. But I'm just really confused. What made him want to stalk Caitlin Clark? No, I'm not talking about looks. I'm talking about, bro, this guy doesn't look like he watches any sports, right? He looks like he either watches porn or porn. So I'm thinking bro was flipping through the channels. He saw Caitlin Clark and just fell in love with her. Maybe she was just getting buckets. I mean, the way she gets buckets, it's hard not to fall in love with her game. Look, shout out to all my ladies out there. Make sure y'all carry tasers with y'all, something. I have women that I love dearly that I am always, nervous about something happening, right? There's stuff like this. Men are weird, all right? They can literally see you for 2 seconds at a grocery store and decide to stalk you for years and years and years and make up a fake imagination, a fake life in their head about you.
Another, I'm getting tickets. I'm sitting behind the bench. The affidavit says the FBI discovered recent messages were sent from a hotel about a half-mile away from the arena where Clark's team, the Indiana Fever, play, as well as a library in downtown Indianapolis. When police questioned the Texas native, he claimed he was on vacation, and this is just an imaginary relationship, according to the documents. But prosecutors say the messages were threatening. Clark told police she altered her public appearances and patterns of movement due to fear for her safety. Wrapped up her first WNBA season.
Oh, wait, hold on. But this is just wild. Like, imagine the other not even WNBA players, but other women that are getting messages like this on a daily basis, bro. It's concerning. It's just scary, man. And like, she doesn't even post like you know how some women, they like to show their bodies off or whatever. She don't post nothing like that. All she posts is buckets, just buckets. All she does is get buckets. Like, look at this right here.
Extra details.
The golden doodle.
That's all she posts is her getting buckets. No lingerie, her in lingerie, nothing like that. Just her getting, look, hear the net. You hear the net on that? Oh my God. Hey, but good thing that the cops actually took this stalking thing seriously. I'm glad Caitlin Clark is safe, and I hope that, I mean, it's really hard to come back from something like this. She's probably going to always be on edge now. I think women in general are always going to be on edge just because men are just really weird. Men are just really weird. And shit like this happens more than not. Like, this shit like this probably happens to people that aren't as close, as famous as Caitlin Clark. It happens on a daily basis. So, hey, if you have a sister, if you have a mom, like, and you're a man, make sure you are able to protect them. Okay? Because shit like this happens a lot. So, obviously I was making jokes in the video, right? There's nothing to joke about. I'm just glad she's safe. I'm glad her family's safe. I'm glad that guy, hopefully he gets a long time in prison. Right. Hopefully he gets a long time in prison. If he was actually sending threatening sexual messages, he deserves a long time in prison. And hopefully he hasn't harmed no one else like this. He's 55 years old. You think he just, woke up one day at the ripe age of 55 and decided to do this? No.